Gurubhyo Namaha. We will recite what we learned last week and we'll continue from there, okay? I think from 35. Okay, start it. Kafe Chudamanistata Jwalamukina Kajwalam Abhedya Sarvasandishu. What I told you, Shonitam Brahmani me rakshet
Chayam Chatreshwari Tatha Ahankaram Mano Buddhim Rakshe Me Dharmadharini Pranapano Tatha Vyanam Udanancha Samanakam Vajrahasta Cha Me Rakshet Pranam Kalyana Shobhana Rase Rupe Cha Gandhe Cha Shabde Sparshe Cha Yogini Sattvam Rajastamaschaiva Rakshe Narayani Sada Ayur Rakshatu Varahi
Dirgham, that is Ayur Rakshatu Varahi
Dharmam Rakshatu Vaishnavi Yashakirtin Cha Lakshmin Cha Dhanam Vidya Cha Chakrini Gotram Indrani Me Rakshet Pashun Me Raksha Chandike Putran Rakshen Mahalakshmir Bhartam Rakshatu Bhairavi Pantanam Supata Rakshen Margam Kshemakari Tatha Rajadvare Mahalakshmir Vijaya Sarvatastita Rakshahinam tu yastanam varjitam kavachena tu Tatsarvam raksha me devi jayanti papanashini Padamekam nagacchetu yadiche shubhama
Correct, yadiche shubhama manaha
Kavachena vruto nityam yatra yatraiva gacchati Tatra tatrartha labhascha vijaya sarvakamikaha Yam yam chintayate kamam tam tam prapnoti nishchitam Paramishcharyamatulam prapsyate bhutale puman Nirbhayo
I have not taught that, no? I will teach it now, okay? Nirbhayo jayate matyas
Nirbhayo jayate martyas Nirbhayo jayate martyas
Sangrameshva parajitaha
Sangrameshva parajitaha Sangrameshva parajitaha
Nirbhayo jayate matyas sangrameshva parajitaha
Nirbhayo jayate martyas sangrameshva parajitaha Nirbhayo jayate martyas sangrameshva parajitaha
Trailoke tu bhavet pujyaha
Trailoke tu bhavet pujyaha Trailoke tu bhavet pujyaha
Kavachena vrutah puman
Kavachena vrutah puman Kavachena vrutah puman
Trailoke tu bhavet pujyah Kavaschena vrutah puman
Trailoke tu bhavet pujyah Kavachena vrutah puman Trailoke tu bhavet pujyah Kavachena vrutah puman
Nirbhayo jayate martyas sangrameshva parajitaha Trailoke tu bhavet pujyah Kavachena vrutah puman
निर्भयो जायते मर्त्यः सङ्ग्रामेष्वपराजितः त्रैलोक्ये तु भवेत् पूज्यः कवचेनावृतः पुमान् निर्भयो जायते मर्त्यः सङ्ग्रामेष्वपराजितः त्रैलोक्ये तु भवेत् पूज्यः कवचेनावृतः पुमान्.
So the one who is protected by this kavacham. We saw last last line, we saw how wherever he goes, he is victorious and he attains whatever he wants. In the same way now, he is fearless, nirbhayo. He lives fearlessly. Nirbhayo jayate matyas. Matya means human beings, mortals. Martya means mortals. Amara, martya. Okay? Martya means mortals. Martya, nirbhayo jayate. Those people who live fearlessly. Sangrameshva parajitaka. Sangrama is battlefield. Battles. Sangrama, battles. Parajitaka. He is unvanquished, like nobody can defeat him. He is very courageous, he is protected, that nobody can beat him. Trailokyetu bhavet pujya kavachena vritah puman. The one who is wearing this kavacham, that is what? Kavachena avrita, this protected by the kavacham, covered by this kavacham. Triloketu, that one is worshipped in all, respected in all the three worlds. You can say it like worshipped in all the three worlds. Bhavet Pujya, they all worship him in all the three worlds. He'll be fearless, he will be unvanquished in all battles, and he will be worshipped in the three worlds. Idam tu Devyah Kavacham.
Idam tu Devyah Kavacham. Idam tu Devyah Kavacham.
Devanamapi durlabham.
Devanamapi durlabham. Devanamapi durlabham.
Idam tu Devyah Kavacham. Devanamapi durlabham.
Idam tu Devyah Kavacham. Devanamapi durlabham. Idam tu Devyah Kavacham. Devanamapi durlabham.
Yah patet prayato nityam.
Yah patet prayato nityam. Yah patet prayato nityam.
Trisandhyam shraddhayanvidah.
Trisandhyam shraddhayanvitah. Trisandhyam shraddhayanvitah.
Yah patet prayato nityam. Trisandhyam shraddhayanvidah.
Yah patet prayato nityam. Trisandhyam shraddhayanvitah. Yah patet prayato nityam. Trisandhyam shraddhayanvitah.
Idam tu Devyah Kavacham. Devanamapi durlabham. Yah patet prayato nityam. Trisandhyam shraddhayanvidah.
Idam tu Devyah Kavacham. Devanamapi durlabham. Yah patet prayato nityam. Trisandhyam shraddhayanvitah. Idam tu Devyah Kavacham. Devanamapi durlabham. Yah patet prayato nityam. Trisandhyam shraddhayanvitah.
We saw, like, when one steps out before even putting one step forward, the one who resides and goes, what happens to him? Now, what will happen to one if he resides 3 times in a day? Trisandhya, or 3 evenings. Trisandhi means what happens? Sandhi doesn't only come in the evening, it comes early in the morning just before the sunrise. So Trisandhyam together, like morning, evening and morning. Trisandhyam Shraddhayan Vidha. What will happen to the one who, this Kavacham he says is for the first line, I didn't tell you, this Kavachena Vrutoni Idantu Devyah Kavacham Deva Namapi Durlabham. This Kavacham is even very difficult for celestials, not alone for the human beings, even for the celestials it is very difficult. And the next few lines describes what happens when he recites 3 sandhyas together, like 3 sandhyas without a break. If someone recites this Kavacham, what happens to him? Daivi kala bhavetasya
दैवी कला भवेतस्य दैवी कला भवेतस्य
त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः
त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः
दैवी कला भवेत्तस्य त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः
दैवी कला भवेतस्य त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः दैवी कला भवेतस्य त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः
जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम्
जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम् जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम्
अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः
अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः
त्रैलोक्येतु जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम् अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः
जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम् अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम् अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः
दैवी कला भवेत्तस्य त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम् अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः
दैवी कला भवेतस्य त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम् अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः दैवी कला भवेतस्य त्रैलोक्येष्व पराजितः जीवेत् वर्षशतं साग्रम् अपमृत्यु विवर्जितः
Kala means part. Daivi Kala, they attain a small portion of Devi. Either in the guna or in the looks or in the way they behave, their attitude, they become a small portion of them. Daivi Kala Bhavetasya. They become a part of Shiva Tulyam, we call it as. Shiva Tulyam. You don't become Shiva, almost closer there on becoming one. In the same way, Daivi Kala, you became a part, a small portion of Devi herself and remains unconquered in the 3 worlds. Trailokeshva Parajita. He is unconquered in all the 3 worlds, not only in the battles. First one we saw in the battles alone. Now in all the 3 worlds, nobody is there to defeat him. Jivet Varshashatam Sagram. Sagram means the entire Aishu. If one full complete Aishu is like 100 years. The 100 years. Today I told you, Varshasatam. So she's also telling, I am not telling, she is also telling, agreeing with me. So Jivet Varshasatam. 100 years completely they live. Sangram. Completely they live. It is not like, one portion of it or anything. Apamrityu vivarjitaha. Untouched by any sudden and accidental death. Apamrityu. If Apa, we call it as Akala. Kala Mrityu and Akala Mrityu. Kala Mrityu is when one completes the life cycle and dies in the natural way. Apamrityu, Akala Mrityu is something that happens due to so many factors. There are 51 Akala Mrityus defined in the scriptures. What and all can happen. So, those Mrityu, the 100-year Shatam is not only one, that is only one part of it. If Apamrityu happens, even if you have so many years left out in your, we all come with this many years, this many breath that we have to take. That's why we should not get angry, because our life is counted as breaths only, not as years. So when you get angry or anxious, like you breathe a lot. So do a lot of pranayama, do a lot of kumbhaka. That helps. Breathing slowly. That is why they say, tortoise, if you see, they live for 300, 400 years because they breathe slowly. Whereas see a monkey, it has a very short lifespan. It is jumping all the time and breathing fast. So breathing fast, so we all come with the number of breaths. Pocket one account, when we come here, balance is this many breaths. So you should not get angry and lose that breath. Go slow. Okay. So accidental death, even when you have that many years, sudden and apamrityu can happen anytime, anyway, due to accidents, due to you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, then it can happen. Now we know so many things are in the net. Why should I go through this? Apamrityu is something that she says, if you pray to her, go with this Kavacham, Apamrityu will not happen to you. That is what it is. So if you have to lead a 100 years life, healthily you have to live. That important, what written in small letters, no? Varsha Satam, small letters mein, this health. So like that, healthily we have to live. That is what the next line comes. Nashyanti vyadayas sarve.
Nashyanti vyadayas sarve. Nashyanti vyadayas sarve.
Luta visfotakadayah.
Luta visfotakadayah. Luta visfotakadayah.
Nashyanti vyadayas sarve. Luta visfotakadayah.
Nashyanti vyadayas sarve. Luta visfotakadayah. Nashyanti vyadayas sarve. Luta visfotakadayah.
Stavaram jangamam chaiva.
Stavaram jangamam chaiva. Stavaram jangamam chaiva.
Krutrimam chapi yadvisham.
Krutrimam chapi yadvisham. Krutrimam chapi yadvisham.
Stavaram jangamam chaiva. Krutrimam chapi yadvisham.
Stavaram jangamam chaiva. Krutrimam chapi yadvisham. Stavaram jangamam chaiva. Krutrimam chapi yadvisham.
Nashyanti vyadayas sarve. Luta visfotakadayah. Stavaram jangamam chaiva. Krutrimam chapi yadvisham.
Nashyanti vyadayas sarve. Luta visfotakadayah. Stavaram jangamam chaiva. Krutrimam chapi yadvisham. Nashyanti vyadayas sarve. Luta visfotakadayah. Stavaram Yadvisham.
Nashyanti vyadhayas sarve. All kinds of ailments it destroys, it vanishes. All the things will vanish if you keep reciting this Kavacham. All kind of diseases. Ludha Visfodakadaya. Ludha means all related to skin. Visfoda means like smallpox, chickenpox, eruptions that happen. Vispotaka means eruptions that happen in the skin. Mainly the skin diseases are mentioned here because always like even this smallpox, chickenpox and all in the village areas it is attributed to Devi. So when someone has it they will go and water the plants there or do abhishekam for her. So it reduces its intensity at home. Those days because the smallpox and all there was no remedy at those times, those days. So they used to like do it, chickenpox, smallpox, when they get it, they will go to Devi temple and worship her and do abhishekam for her so it cools down here. It doesn't. So the skin eruptions, skin diseases related to all kind of skin diseases, this Kavacham needs to be recited. All kinds of diseases they say, but specifically for skin diseases. Okay. Sthavaram next comes Sthavaram Jangamam Eva Krutrimam. The poisonous plants. If you mistakenly eat any plants which are poisonous, that can also cause you death. So Sthavaram Jangamam means natural plants which are like poisonous to you if you happen to eat it. Krutrimam chapi yadvisham. Some people specifically go and feed. I have seen in my life, giving poison to her own husband. No? Over a period of time, she used to give a sweet every day after lunch. He didn't even know he was consuming it. Eventually. Like, whatever be it, nowadays we hear a lot. So, Krutrimam, specifically given by people. So, those kind of man-made poison. Natural poison is one thing and man-made poison is another thing. So, those two things vanish if you keep reciting the Kavacham every day. They are covering everything. They don't trust us, so they don't leave anything. Next comes Abhicharani Sarvani.
Abhicharani Sarvani. Abhicharani Sarvani.
Mantra Yantrani Bhutale.
Mantra Yantrani Bhutale. Mantra Yantrani Bhutale.
Abhicharani Sarvani. Mantra Yantrani Bhutale.
Abhicharani Sarvani. Mantra Yantrani Bhutale. Abhicharani Sarvani. Mantra Yantrani Bhutale.
Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva.
Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva. Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva.
Second K. Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva.
Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva. Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva.
Jalajashchopadeshikaha.
Jalajashchopadeshikaha. Jalajashchopadeshikaha.
Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva. Jalajashchopadeshikaha.
Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva. Jalajashchopadeshikaha. Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva. Jalajashchopadeshikaha.
Abhicharani Sarvani. Mantra Yantrani Bhutale. Bhuchara Kechara Chaiva. Jalajashchopadeshikaha.
अभिचाराणि सर्वाणि मन्त्रयन्त्राणि भूतले भूचराखेचराश्चैव जलजाश्चोपदेशिकाः अभिचाराणि सर्वाणि मन्त्रयन्त्राणि भूतले भूचराखेचराश्चैव जलजाश्चोपदेशिकाः.
Abhichara, all kind of spells. Abhichara karma, we say it, we do it only for the incantations, the mantras, they do the Japam tantric way of worship. They do it only to bring someone down for their, if someone is doing really good, if you want to really bring them down, then they do that abhichara karma. Abhicharani, all spells that is done in those incantations, all spells, all mantra, yantra, sometimes they use the yantram, different yantram also, to make somebody miserable. So people love seeing others misery, like, not with good intentions, but only with bad intentions they do all those things. Bhutale, in this world it happens. In this world, whoever does these incantations of mantram, yantram, everything, abhichara karma, and bhuchara kecharas. Bhuchara means, we call it as directed or by somebody. Yevi vidradhan cholo, Tamil Yeval, we say it like, directed to somebody, particular person, directed to some particular person. Bhuchara, that actually some kind of the dolls and all they will make and they will do it that this person should be affected. That bhuchara is actually through the earth, that moves through the earth. That moves through the earth. Khechara is that moves through the air. The spells can move through the air, move through the... There are different spells for that can move through the earth, that can move through the air. Jalaja, water. The three things, water, air and the earth. Through these three things, the incantations or all those things or abhichara karma is directed towards somebody. It is directed towards someone. Upadeshika, that is what it is, directed by others. Directed by others towards you. Here now the person in question is us, the one who is reciting the Kavacham. So all the incantations, or they are saying like how many these things can come in the next line also, and then all these things will get completely alleviated. Nobody can destroy you by all these spells, because Devi is the one who is supreme for all the yantras, all the tantras. So when you are doing her Kavacham, she will keep protecting you. All tantric upasakas, if you say that. Now tantric upasakas are not bad. Even Bhaskar Rayar was a tantric upasaka. But how you use it for others, how you use it. Tantric upasana gives 100%, they say like, it is quick as well as 100% it gives the benefit, no doubt about it. Vaidika upasana, mantra upasana, that we all do it, that also gives. It has to be consistent. Whereas tantric is quick as well as if you want a quick remedy. Instead of a tablet, you take an injection. It is as simple as that. You take an injection, your fever comes down immediately. If you take a tablet, it takes a couple of hours to come down. But eventually it comes down. That is what it is. So, this abhichara karma, if it is aimed at somebody, that is when it is bad. So, when the person who is reciting, if it is aimed at him or her, then it will not affect them. So, because she is the one who is in charge of that, because all the tantric upasakas, if you go and see, they all will be worshipping somebody like, Kali or some Dushta Devata also is there. There are so many Dushta Devatas because they come and they can do all kind of works. So those kind of thing, because we have seen quite a lot in our lives, like That is the reason I am able to tell. They can, like, that evil, I tell you that they will go on, they will direct at somebody, they will go and finish the job and come. It is like that. Okay. The next line also continues with that. You can see how prevalent it has been. Like, this kind of wrongdoing has been so prevalent in our society, in this world. Sahaja kula jamala.
Sahaja kula jamala. Sahaja kula jamala.
Dakini shakini tatha.
Dakini shakini tatha. Dakini shakini tatha.
Sahaja kula jamala. Dakini shakini tatha.
Sahaja kula jamala. Dakini shakini tatha. Sahaja kula jamala. Dakini shakini tatha.
Antariksha chara ghora.
Antariksha chara ghora. Antariksha chara ghora.
Dakin yascha mahabalaha.
Dakinyascha mahabalaha. Dakinyascha mahabalaha.
Antariksha chara ghora. Dakin yascha mahabalaha.
Antariksha chara ghora. Dakinyascha mahabalaha. Antariksha chara ghora. Dakinyascha mahabalaha.
Sahaja kula jamala. Dakini shakini tatha. Antariksha chara ghora. Dakin yascha mahabalaha.
Sahaja kula jamala. Dakini shakini tatha. Antariksha chara ghora. Dakinyascha mahabalaha. Sahaja kula jamala. Dakini shakini tatha. Antariksha chara ghora. Dakinyascha mahabalaha.
This Dakini, Shakini and all are those people who are like, if they get the control over them, they are sent to do all these kinds of abhichara karma. They are all like, those two people, Dakini and Shakini, are the fierce attendants of Kali. So many times when they do the Tantra worship, first this kind of Dushta Devatas come there. But people who are really worshipping Kali, they will not do harm to others. Who are really like, Tantric Upasana. Kali is basically Tantric Upasana. We know it like, in the northeastern part of India, it is all Kali worship and it is all Tantric Upasana. Those who are really worshipping Kali, because Kali is worshipped at the time when your ego, you are at the end. Everybody needs to come to the stage where they worship Kali in either, mostly in Tantric way or very rarely in this mantra rupa. So they all come to that stage before they attain the final release, because Kali is the one who can cut your ego. That is the reason we are, this Chamundi, Chandi, we call her because she is the one who can destroy ego. Ego destruction is the main thing in Chandi Upasana. Why we pray it like, our ego has to come down, our ego has to completely, when it completely goes, you become one with the deity, one with the Parabrahma. So this Dakini, Shakini and all are small, attendants of Kali, servants of Kali. So they go and they will not say whether this is for the good or the bad, but they will when you can bring them under your control, they can perform all these kind of things. Okay, that is what Sahaja. Sahaja means it happens on its own. Sahaja. Kulaja means if you are born in that family which has got this curse, which is like under the grip of this kind of abhichara karma, there are families, generations after generations, people will be suffering in the family. We have heard about the Mysore Maharaja where someone cursed them. not to have any children. And how many generations it took? It is only now this new Raja who is now presently present, he is the one who has got a kid. Otherwise for generations. That's why if you are born in that family where this curse or this kind of bond is there, that one, he says, what happens, you may be the first one to invite in your kulam, that is also self-arising. That is also one. And the next one, Kulaja, is from what you what you bring in your family, like the family bond. The Dakini and Shakini, and all those things, Mala, Dakini, Shakini, all those people, Antariksha Chara, what happened? They all move through the air. This Dakini, Shakini and all, Dakini, Yascha Mahabalaha, like Dakini, all these people move in the air. Antariksha Chara, Chara means moving. Antariksha Chara means moving in the air. They don't move on the earth, they move in the air. Ghora, always howling and fierce. Mahabalaha, they are very, very powerful. So when they are like, aimed at somebody, they will finish the work and only will come. It is like that. Then they will get back to the place of origin. It is like a boomerang, goes and comes back. If it doesn't do, if the person is protected, then it goes back and attacks the person who sent it. No, it happens. This is what life is like. You should not think bad for somebody. If what your thoughts are is only what your life. If you are going to have good thoughts, good things, you invite, you attract more good things. If you are going to have bad thoughts and bad things in your mind for everybody else, then you are inviting only bad for yourself. We don't understand that. The Brahma connects, that is the thread that connects all of us. So you should not think bad about someone, bad for someone. You should always think good for them. You should not think bad. So the thoughts are our life. Thoughts are our vidhi. This is the destiny that is our thoughts. So keep our thoughts pure. Keeping the thoughts pure is the ultimate one. So these people, they just do it for money or commercially. Now it has become commercial. So I can say loudly that it is done mainly for commercial reasons, for your survival. That shouldn't be your survival, but many people do it. Kerala, it is very prevalent. No? Kerala, not only in Kerala, it is prevalent even in the Northeast. Northeast, it is very, very prevalent. It is worse than even Kerala. Next one. Graha Bhuta Pishachascha.
Graha Bhuta Pishachascha. Graha Bhuta Pishachascha.
Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha.
Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha. Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha.
Graha Bhuta Pishachascha. Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha.
Graha Bhuta Pishachascha. Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha. Graha Bhuta Pishachascha. Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha.
Brahma Rakshasa Vetala.
Brahma Rakshasa Vetala. Brahma Rakshasa Vetala.
Kushmanda Bhairavadayaha.
Kushmanda Bhairavadayaha. Kushmanda Bhairavadayaha.
Brahma Rakshasa Vedala. Kushmanda Bhairavadayaha.
Brahma Rakshasa Vetala. Kushmanda Bhairavadayaha. Brahma Rakshasa Vetala. Kushmanda Bhairavadayaha.
Graha Bhuta Pishachascha. Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha. Brahma Rakshasa Vedala. Kushmanda Bhairavadayaha.
Graha Bhuta Pishachascha. Yaksha Gandharva Rakshasaha. Brahma Rakshasa Vetala. कूष्माण्डा भैरवादयः ग्रहभूतपिशाचाश्च यक्षगन्धर्वराक्षसाः ब्रह्मराक्षसवेतालाः कूष्माण्डा भैरवादयः.
Now we saw in the last lines what are all the evil things people can do. Now we will think that exist in the society. Graha Bhuta, or the spirits that has the ability to possess someone. Graha Bhuta. They make the Bhutam makes the place in someone's body. That the spirits that can possess, that has the ability to possess someone. Pishacha. Pishacha, you all know, it's all vilest demons. Pishacha are the vilest demons. Yaksha. No, Pishacha say Yaksha or like, ghost, like, and you can say Yaksha actually like ghost, but they are mostly harmless ghost. Yaksha or like, apparitions that you can see of some ghost moving. Some people have movies and all, you must have seen it. White dress, that kind of an apparition moving, and only few people can see it, not everybody can see it. Like that, especially the person who needs to see it in the movie will see it, obviously. It is like that. So that kind of apparition. So they are all called Yaksha. They are harmless actually. Gandharvas are actually Russian musicians, but sometimes like, they are very naughty. For fun they make you whirl around. For fun they do it. Sometimes very like, probably the intent is not malicious, but their action is malicious. Gandharvas. Rakshasas are demons. Rakshasas are Brahma Rakshasa. Brahma Rakshasa is the ghost of a Brahmana, is a Brahma Rakshasa. Brahma Rakshasa means a ghost of a Brahmana is the Brahma Rakshasa. The one who is the Brahmana who didn't complete his life, who didn't follow the two ways, who didn't complete his life, like met with death, or who didn't follow the edicts of Vedas, unbrahmanical way he must have lived through his life and he must have died. All those things like, they all become Brahman. Mainly like, they don't complete the complete terms of life. They become Veda, like Brahma Rakshasa, who led an unholy life only, they say. Like Vedhala are vampire. Vampires are Vedhala. Kushmanda. See, Vedhala has, now first one we saw Graha Bhuta possess the living human beings. Vedala can possess they will inhabit in a corpse and they will move around. Vedala, the vampires have that kind of a thing where they can be present in a corpse. That is the difference. One is living and one is dead. Kushmanda. Kushmanda is a kind of frightening demons only here. Kushmanda. Kushmanda Devi will come later. This is also called Kushmanda. Kushmanda is one who is frightening because Bhairavadayaha, that accompany Shiva. Shiva and Bhairava. Bhairava Rupam of Shiva and the like. Okay. Bhairava. Bhairava also means very fearsome, frightening. Bhairava. Bhairava. Nashyanti darshanatasya.
Nashyanti darshanatasya. Nashyanti darshanatasya.
Kavache hrudi samsthite.
Kavache hrudi samsthite. Kavache hrudi samsthite.
Nashyanti darshanatasya. Kavache hrudi samsthite.
Nashyanti darshanatasya. Kavache hrudi samsthite. Nashyanti darshanatasya. Kavache hrudi samsthite.
Mano nathir bhavedranyas.
Mano natir bhavedranyas. Mano natir bhavedranyas.
Tejo vruddhigaram param.
तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम् तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम्
मानोन्नतिर्भवेद्राज्ञस्तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम्
मानोन्नतिर्भवेद्राज्ञस्तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम् मानोन्नतिर्भवेद्राज्ञस्तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम्
नश्यन्ति दर्शनात् तस्य कवचे हृदि संस्थिते मानोन्नतिर्भवेद्राज्ञस्तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम्
नश्यन्ति दर्शनात् तस्य कवचे हृदि संस्थिते मानोन्नतिर्भवेद्राज्ञस्तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम् नश्यन्ति दर्शनात् तस्य कवचे हृदि संस्थिते मानोन्नतिर्भवेद्राज्ञस्तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम्
Nashyanti darshanat tasya kavache hrudi samsati. All these bad things that we have mentioned will die, perish immediately at the sight of the one who is protected by this kavacham, who is armored by this kavacham. All these negative things that we have seen so far will perish at the sight of him. It will not even go near him. At the sight of him, they all will perish. And Mano Nathir Bhavet Ranyas, the king will hold him very high in regards. Unnatha, king Unnatha, this person, the king will hold him very high regards. Tejo Vruddhikaram Param, his glory, Tejas, it will spread boundlessly in the world. His glory will spread boundlessly everywhere. Yashasa vardhate sopi.
Yashasa vardhate sopi. Yashasa vardhate sopi.
Kirti mandita bhutale.
Kirti mandita bhutale. Kirti mandita bhutale.
Yashasa vardhate sopi. Kirti mandita bhutale.
Yashasa vardhate sopi. Kirti mandita bhutale. Yashasa vardhate sopi. Kirti mandita bhutale.
Japet saptashathim chandim.
Japet saptashatim chandim. Japet saptashatim chandim.
Krutva tu kavacham pura.
Krutva tu kavacham pura. Krutva tu kavacham pura.
Japet saptashathim chandim. Krutva tu kavacham pura.
Japet saptashatim chandim. Krutva tu kavacham pura. Japet saptashatim chandim. Krutva tu kavacham pura.
Yashasa vardhate sopi. Kirti mandita bhutale. Japet saptashathim chandim. Krutva tu kavacham pura.
Yashasa vardhate sopi. Kirti mandita bhutale. Japet saptashatim chandim. Krutva tu kavacham pura. Yashasa vardhate sopi. Kirti mandita bhutale. Japet saptashatim chandim. Krutva tu kavacham pura.
Yashasa vardhate sopi. His yashas, he will be very well renowned in this world. And Kirti Mandita Bodhale, and his fame will be so exalted, it will spread everywhere. Everybody will know him. Japet Saptashatim Chandim Krutva tu Kavacham Pura. Before you reciting the 700 verses of Chandi, you have to recite Kavacham first. Pura, before. First one has to recite the Kavacham before reciting the Saptashathi means 700. Saptashathim Chandim, 700 verses of Chandi. Before you recite that, you have to recite Kavacham.
This Navavarna Vidhi, what you thought?
Navarna Vidhi.
Navarna Vidhi. That also, before that we have to chant this. Okay.
First Kavacham, Argalam and Kilakam. Then Navarna Vidhi.
Okay.
Navarna Vidhi, Navarna Mantram has to be Japam to be done Japam before you start the 13 chapters. The 13 chapters are called Saptashati or Chandi or Mahatmyam or whatever the name you call it. It is before and after we have to recite the Navarna Mantra, Japam. These three are all added much later. Much later, the crux of the entire thing is only those 13 chapters. So Navarna Mantram should be recited before starting the first chapter and after completing the 13th chapter. We call it as mantra spudam. It is like a cartridge. Like in both sides when it is protected. How a cartridge on both sides are protected, so the inside one has got the tremendous energy to blow up. Cartridges, if you see, they are protected on both sides. In the same way, with the Navarna Mantram, the 13 chapters are protected in that. The kind of benefit that you get by reciting like this is so many. I cannot even calculate that. It is so powerful. The best that it can give you. That is the main crux of it. And this Navarna Mantram keeps coming in the chapters when you recite the Bijams. Later, God willing, if that can happen at some point of a time, then I can teach you how we all recite the Bijams. So how many times this Navarna Mantram gets repeated in the chapters. Chapters are all Bijatmakam. Understand that. That is very, very important. That is the reason we give a lot of Kavacham, Argalam, Kilakam or things or Angams. They are not the main text. But Kavacham, Argalam, Kilakam should be recited before you go into the main topic. It should be recited. Not otherwise, like this is the other things that the Rahasya Trayam is just an option that we give. But these three had to be recited. You have to have first and primemost understand that to do whatever we want to do, we need good health. We have to take care of us. So first is health and slowly opening the door and getting into the Chandi world. That is what Argalam and Kilakam comes. Okay, Argalam Kilakam comes later. You go and open the door next to go towards this Chandi. But first and the foremost importance is Kavacham. You need to you have to have a good health. First, understand that. Take care of your health. Women, we neglect our health so much, taking care of everybody. It shouldn't be like that. If we are not well, the whole house is gone. So take care of yourself first. That is the reason this comes. Like, Jape Saptasathi-5 Chandim Kritvadu Kavacham. Kavacham has to be recited before you recite the 700 verses of Chandi. This is given here itself. So that is, we don't need to go for anything else. Yavad Bhumandalam Dhatte.
Yavad Bhumandalam Dhatte. Yavad Bhumandalam Dhatte.
Sashaila Vanakananam.
Sashaila Vanakananam. Sashaila Vanakananam.
Yavad Bhumandalam Dhatte. Sashaila Vanakananam.
Yavad Bhumandalam Dhatte. Sashaila Vanakananam.
यावद्भूमण्डलं धत्ते सशैलवनकाननम्
तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम्
तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम्
सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी या तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम् सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी
तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम् सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम् सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी
यावद्भूमण्डलं धत्ते सशैलवनकाननम् तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम् सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी
यावद्भूमण्डलं धत्ते सशैलवनकाननम्
काननम् not dirgham काननम् काननम् no काननम् okay
यावद्भूमण्डलं धत्ते सशैलवनकाननम् तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम् सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी यावद्भूमण्डलं धत्ते सशैलवनकाननम् तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्याम् सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी.
As long as this earth with its mountains, forest and plantations, Kananam is like, it is all yielding some, like you have groves, mango groves you have palm groves you have, like those are all yielding to us, no? That kind of things, whatever that he gives that yielding. Yavat Bhumandalam Dati, as long as this earth with its mountains, Sashaila, mountains, Vana means forest, Kananam means groves. All those things are present. Tavat Tishtadi Medinyam, as long as they last in this earth, till that time, Medinyam, in this world, in this earth, Santatif Putra Putri, your lineage, wealth, your children and your grandchildren, they will continue to live. It means you will have the blessings of children and grandchildren when you keep reciting this. As long as this earth with its mountain, forest and groves are that last, it will ever be there. Okay, that is the blessing they give. Tavat till that time. As long as till that time this earth lasts, till that time your lineage will never be cut off. You will have children and you will have grandchildren also. Okay? Dehante paramam sthanam.
Dehante paramam sthanam. Dehante paramam sthanam.
Yatsurairapi durlabham.
Yatsurairapi durlabham. Yatsurairapi durlabham.
Dehante paramam sthanam. Yatsurairapi durlabham.
Dehante paramam sthanam. Yatsurairapi durlabham. Dehante paramam sthanam. Yatsurairapi durlabham.
Prapnoti purusho nityam.
Prapnoti purusho nityam. Prapnoti purusho nityam.
Mahamaya prasadataha.
Mahamaya prasadataha. Mahamaya prasadataha.
Prapnoti purusho nityam. Mahamaya prasadataha.
Prapnoti purusho nityam. Mahamaya prasadataha. Prapnoti purusho पुरुषो नित्यम् महामाया प्रसादतः
देहान्ते परमं स्थानं यत्सुरैरपि दुर्लभम् प्राप्नोति पुरुषो नित्यं महामाया प्रसादतः
देहान्ते परमं स्थानम् यत्सुरैरपि दुर्लभम् प्राप्नोति पुरुषो नित्यम् महामाया प्रसादतः देहान्ते परमं स्थानम् यत्सुरैरपि दुर्लभम् प्राप्नोति पुरुषो नित्यम् महामाया प्रसादतः
Deha antam, at the time of when this body vanishes, death, at the time of the dehantam, paramam sthanam, he will reach the supreme state, which is even difficult for the celestials, surairapi durlabham, celestials to reach. Celestials are in one level, and once their karma gets over, they have to come back and continue with their life here in this world, because this bhulokam is the karma bhumi. So you have to come back to this world to do away with all the karmas and accrue more get ready for our next one. So the bhulokam is the karma bhumi, and they attain a sthanam, a position much higher than even the celestials, which is very difficult for the celestials even to achieve. Dehanti, at the time of death, after the death, they attain that sthan. Prapnodi purusho nityam mahamaya prasadadaha. That form is the eternal form. Purusho nityam prapnodi. He will attain, that person will attain nityam, that eternality, eternal thing that happens, eternal state, mahamaya prasadadaha. That is the gift of Mahamaya. Because all said and done, the Maya doesn't leave you so easily. The souls are covered with Maya even during the Pralayam. What happens at the Pralayam, at the time of Pralayam, they come to this earth only with the cover, Maya. Maya is present always. It is only when she decides to remove that cover, you can see the divine. You can be one with the Parabrahman only when the Maya removes it. We call it as Mahamaya, we call it as Vishnu Maya. Different names we give. The Maya is the souls are covered with Maya before they come to earth. Only with that cover they come here. The Karana Deham is covered with that Maya before it takes on the Shukshma Deham with Antakarana. Then the Sthula Deham comes with all the Indriyas. So Karana Deham is devoid of everything. It has got only one main thing, that is our karmas. Karma lepanam, whatever actions that we do here and the effects of these actions are pasted, cut copy paste only in the Karana Deham. So this body lives, Sukshma Deham lives at the time of Pralayam. Otherwise the Sukshma Deham takes one more body and comes back. But at the time of Pralayam, this Sukshma Deham also goes. Only Karana Deham remains and is attached to the Parabrahman. So Karana Deham only with our destiny. So when the creation again happens, covered with Maya, it comes back to this same earth. The creation happens, recreation happens. So Mahamaya has to decide whether you need to get unified with the Brahma. She has to leave. Only that cover is removed, then you and the Brahman are not different. You are the same. That is why the next line says, Labhate paramam rupam shivena sahamodate. You become one. Mahamaya, when she blesses you and leaves her way, then you get to see the Parabrahma. You become that. You don't get it, you become that, you lose your individuality, identity. You lose your identity. You are not, you and the Brahman are not different. You become one. This is what it is, okay? Labhate paramam rupam.
Labhate paramam rupam. Labhate paramam rupam.
Shivena sahamodhate.
Shivena sahamodate. Shivena sahamodate.
Labhate paramam rupam. Shivena sahamodhate.
Labhate paramam rupam. Shivena sahamodate. Labhate paramam rupam. Shivena sahamodate.
Om iti Devyah Kavacham Sampurnam.
Om iti Devyah Kavacham Sampurnam. Om iti Devyah Kavacham Sampurnam.
You want to recite only this or the entire Kavacham for the revision? Or should we have a separate recording for the Kavacham?
Separate.
So then what we will do is, today we will recite what we learned today, and the next class, that is coming Monday, we will have a revision. Each one of you say one part continuously, like it has to be round robin, continuously it has to, like, so everyone completes everything, like get the chance to recite the entire Kavacham. That time before the start of the class, I will record only Kavacham. We all will recite, record only Kavacham and leave it like that. So you people can, like, practice if you want, like say it along with that. When we all recite in the class, the same speed you can, like, say it when it is a separate one. I feel that is better. Okay? Okay. So now we will recite from the 45th one. No? 40.
At home can we start reciting this?
Yeah, you can start. You can start.
So we recite Kavacham.
You can recite Kavacham.
Navarna
Vidhi. You can do it. You can recite Kavacham from now on. You don't need to wait for it.
So first idu sollita adukapprama
அப்புறம் சொல்லணும். கவச்சத்துக்கு முன்னாடி நவாரணம் கிடையாது. கவச்சம் சொல்லிட்டு இப்போ கவச்சம் நவாரணம். Then Argala Stotram comes, Kavacham, Argalam, Navarnam. Keelakam vanda, Kavacham, Argalam, Keelakam, Navarnam. But before the start of chapters, when you have to start the chapters, Navarnam and then the chapters. That will change. Practicing, I am just telling you the practice. For the practice, if you are going to recite the chapters, then first do the Navarnam. If you want to recite all the three, you can recite it and do the Navarnam and then the chapters. But if you don't, if you are become very familiar with that, you want to like really sit and practice only, then it is fine. You don't simply use, because you are learning till you finish. There is no this thing that you have to do it only like this. When you are learning, it is fine. So sometimes what will happen, you will be doing Navarna mantra japam in the morning, and evening you will sit and recite the Kavacham. Absolutely fine. Don't do like, now you are learning, so everything is permitted now. Don't say like, I did like this, whether it will be correct or not. There's nothing wrong in that. So recite according to your convenience. But you can start reciting every day, so it gives you the benefit of that, now that you have learned it. Today we will recite from the 45th. Okay? Nirbhayo jayate matyas sangrameshva parajitaha trailokye tu bhavet pujya kavachena vritah puman idam tu devyah kavacham devanamapi durlabham yah patet prayato nityam trisandhyam shraddhayanvitah दैवी कला भवेत् तस्य त्रैलोकेष्व पराजितः जीवेद्वर्षशतं साग्रमपमृत्यो विवर्जितः नश्यन्ति व्याधयः सर्वे लूता विस्फोटकादयः स्थावरं जङ्गमं चैव कृत्रिमं चापि यद्विषम् अभिचाराणि सर्वाणि मन्त्रयन्त्राणि भूतले भूचराः खेचराश्चैव जलजाश्चोपदेशिकाः सहजा कुलजा माला डाकिनी शाकिनी तथा अन्तरिक्षचरा घोरा डाकिन्यश्च महाबलाः ग्रहभूतपिशाचाश्च यक्षगन्धर्वराक्षसाः ब्रह्मराक्षसवेतालाः कूष्माण्डभैरवादयः नश्यन्ति दर्शनात् तस्य कवचे हृदि संस्थिते मानो नतिर्भवेत्रान्यस्तेजो वृद्धिकरं परम् यशसा वर्धते सोऽपि कीर्तिमण्डितभूतले जपे सप्तशतीं चण्डीं कृत्वा तु कवचं पुरा यावद्भूमण्डलं दत्ते सशैलवनकाननम् तावत्तिष्ठति मेदिन्यां सन्ततिः पुत्रपौत्रिकी देहान्ते परमं स्थानं यत्सुरैरपि दुर्लभम् प्राप्नोति पुरुषो नित्यं महामाया प्रसादतः लभते परमं रूपं शिवेन सह मोदते ॐ इति देव्याः कवचं सम्पूर्णम्।